A wide variety of issues on top of voters' minds this week. Dr. Greg Vonnahme joins us from UMKC again. So, Greg, what do you think? Is there a singular issue that's driving most voters to the polls, or is it a number of things?
It's a number of things. And one of the things that's unusual about the issues in this election is Gallup has surveyed Americans about what they think the most important problem is. And for the last 20 years, the economy has never been ranked lower than it is right now. The number one issue that they're finding by far is dissatisfaction with government and poor leadership in government. For the substantive issues, it's what you showed on the graphics. It's healthcare and immigration, but they are a distant second and third.
So what does that mean for incumbents?
It could be a challenging year for incumbents. Not only Republican incumbents because there's a sitting president, but incumbents generally.
What do we think is going to happen? We've heard so many people get out the vote. Millennials get out the vote. Women getting out to vote. So many different groups of voters are really pushing to get people to the polls. But this isn't anything new. We hear this every election. Is there a bigger push this time around? And what do you think that's going to have an impact, or will it have an impact on voter turnout?
Well, so it's sort of interesting. On the one hand, we haven't seen big fluctuations in year to year. Even when the results suggest that we might have seen a big change in turnout, we really haven't seen it. So 2006, 2010 were both change elections, wave elections for Democrats and Republicans. The composition of the electorate by gender and by age was about the same as what we usually see. But when elections are so close, both for control of the House and the Senate, and also district by district and state by state, really even a small shift in the electorate could be enough to decide the outcome of an election.
Really interesting. And kind of going off script here a little bit, one of the things that I hear from as a broadcaster is that so many people are so tired of all the negative campaign ads. That's also nothing new to politics and elections, but boy, it just does seem like this year especially, there have been so much negative campaign. Might that actually hurt voter turnout in some way?
I think it depends on how they evaluate the candidates. One of the other changes that I think we've seen in this election is that there has been a shift to a degree away from divisiveness. So some of the candidates that the parties are running are lower key candidates. They're easier to like and they're sort of less divisive than what we've seen. So we've had this pattern of every election gets nastier and uglier than the one before it. I think this is a signal that the electorate is coming up for a little bit of air in 2018 and pulling a little bit back on the divisiveness that we've seen in previous elections.
I think we could all agree. We could all stand, pull back a little bit from the divisiveness. Greg, thank you very much. Hang around. We're going to check in with you in just a few minutes once again.